And a warm welcome to all those catching up with us on Facebook to our healing service for April. I'll probably do this in several segments to ensure that we have sound on our recordings. But over to you now. We'll start very shortly.
Sorry.
It's all right, you can start.
Welcome everybody, it's lovely to see you. And for all you new people, lovely to see new faces. I hope you will get something from our service together, because we're here to share in healing and just relax and feel that lovely energy that's all around us, and that you go home feeling a little bit better for being here together to share. And it's a beautiful day, isn't it? And I don't know if you've noticed how much the trees are out, a lot more than they were 2 weeks ago even. It was coming through Clarendon and the leaves are trees are nearly touching each other. And I thought, it's 20 shades of green, not 50 shades of grey. And today, the healing time we're having together is on healing. The reason why, two recent incidences happened that led me to this theme today, was healing and touch. George and myself were in a small cafe the other day, and as we went to a table we passed a mum with 2 little children. One was 3 and one was 1. And while she was putting the little one in the pushchair, she realised she was blocking our way and apologised, and I put my hand on her arm to say, oh, don't worry, you know how you do. And when I sat down I thought, should I have done that? Because it's so easy now, when you touch somebody, I get a funny feeling in case I'm not doing the right thing. And then I went back and apologised, and she said, oh, please don't worry. She said that's the most normal thing to do. And she said, it's lovely to be able to touch. And we chatted for a few minutes, as I do, about the difficulties of life at the moment, and that we are losing out on the normal social side of things. And later these words resonated with me, that we have lost the art of touch, and some of the spontaneity has gone. And we've heard so much about the inappropriateness of people in power, that it's overshadowing the sign of comfort, appreciation and love and healing that a touch can bring. And I've said it many times over the past few years that I'm glad I'm not teaching anymore. When I think of the times a child needed a cuddle or an arm around them. I did teach infants, I had the 5-year-olds, and it was different then. And I also had responsibility for 16 in the evenings, 14-year-old boarders who also sometimes needed comfort when they were away from home. But I digress a bit. A couple of days later, being in the cafe, I started to read the new Healer magazine, and there's some around for you, especially new people here, to pick up information. And inside is an excerpt from one of Harry Edwards' books about self-healing, where he mentions the touch, especially like used in healing and as in massage. He also says, before a cure is effected, the cause must be discovered, and how much of our afflictions have their cause in some form of mental or nervous unrest, and often we are quite unaware of it. With so much going on in this time, the wars, anger, anxiety and worry, this is affecting us all physically and mentally, one way or another. So much negativity that it blocks out the good and the positive that's going on in the world. So we are going to concentrate today on healing for ourselves and sending out love, joy and peace into the whole of creation. For we are all an intricate part of this beautiful world, and each of us are connected to each other, to nature, and we can make a difference no matter how small. It is important. We need to try and give ourselves time, what we're doing today, and this is our time to stop, to heal, and to find some positivity. So we're going to start to unwind for a little while and feel the lovely energy here in this home of peace. So relax as best as you can and enjoy. And Celia is just going to read the attunement and grounding for us, and Harriet with prayer.
We give thanks that we are gathered here today. We ask that this place be filled with love, light, friendship, and healing energies. Surround us in protection as we open our hearts and expand our consciousness to allow the flow of love and healing to come through us. As your crown chakra opens, you feel or imagine a column of pure white light filling your body. Then feel the balance and harmony within your body as the earth energy rises up through the soles of your feet and your base chakra. You feel your connection to the universal source of pure, unconditional love, balanced by the nurturing, protective love of Mother Earth. Harry Edwards' prayer. May I be thankful for all the blessings I already have. Grant me relief from pain and sickness. Protect me from all ills, and grant me good health in the days to come. Remove all causes of imperfection and bring your healing ministers close to me, that I may be conscious of their presence and so receive guidance and inspiration. Grant me courage and fortitude to overcome all adversity. Let me be conscious of your strength in all times of need. Grant me confidence to overcome my fears and not to anticipate harm. Teach me how to live rightly in your sight, to do only that which is right and true. I pray that good guidance and right influencing will inspire all your pupils to be as brothers, one to the other, and that peace shall endure for all time.
Amen. Thank you, Steve. And now we're going to hear some wise words that come from Melody Beattie's book called Journal of the Soul, which she was going to read for us. It's called You Are Complete. Look around at all that lives, at all that is. See how connected each creation is to the workings of the universe. But see also that the essence of all that is, the core, lies within each one of us. From the tiniest purple wildflower to the tallest tree in the forest, each creation contains its own energy system, its own energy core for living, and so it is with us. We're intricately connected to the world. We receive energy, life-sustaining nourishment and support from the world around us, but inside each of us is our own source for love,
joy, hope, and wisdom. Our ability to love, hope, live, feel, and be happy comes from our own hearts. Look inside yourself. Feel your vitality, your energy. Feel your essence. It is pure love, everything you need in order to live, hope, and love is within you. Nurture yourself. Let yourself grow. Learn to grow and walk the ways of love. Learn from all who cross your path. Value your connections to others and the world around you. Receive and give freely as you walk down the road of life. Take your place in the world. Know you are part of a complete universe, and remember that you are a complete universe too.
Thank you. And with that in mind, joy, peace, hope, healing, we're now going to sing our first song, Give Me Joy in My Heart, which is number 15 in the books. And if you want to stand up, get more energy going. Also gives you a lesson to think on. That's good. I think we need some tambourines. But going on from Jean's reading that she did, and from what I said at the beginning about healing and that, it was interesting because after I'd read a bit about Harry Edwards' thoughts on healing, I was talking to a chiropractor on Thursday. I think you know him, Teresa, Mr. Booty. And we were talking about healing. And his thoughts were very interesting and very much along the lines of Harry Edwards, that to give healing, we need to get to the cause of the problem to effect the cure. And it is in using the eyes first, before the hands. So you look at the person and feel their need before you do the healing. And both of us agreed that we are all healers. And it just depends if we go down this path or not. And he says something interesting about a book he'd read, where someone asked Jesus how it was he could heal people. And Jesus answered that he didn't heal, it came from the Father within. And I like to think of it as an energy within each of us, linking with the energy of another. And it is the source of energy for the good of others, and leaving out the ego, which isn't always easy, is it? That it's not us, it comes from elsewhere. And if I ask each of you your thoughts about healing, we will get as many different answers as there are here, as people here. But I'm not going to put you on the spot, it's all right. And also there are many types and ways of healing. We've got Reiki, acupuncture, massage, aromatherapy, and I could go on for so many, and spiritual healing, but are a few. And each offer a feeling of well-being after treatment, and sometimes there are cures. And then there is the medical profession, that we are here as healers that work alongside the medical profession, which Harry Edwards had advocated. And sometimes the patient or client can help the healer, and this energy is reciprocated. And I'd like to read you a story exactly about this. And it was about a doctor in America who worked in a cancer hospital for cancer patients. And he also taught in this hospital. And he was going through a patch of self-doubt. And this is a true story, and it comes from a book by Dr. Naomi Remen, who herself was a doctor for many, many years, and then she went into other types of healing as well. And it's a book called Kitchen Table Stories. And this one is called Healing is Mutual. And one of my patients once defined a healer as someone who can see the movement towards wholeness in you more clearly than you can at any given moment. Frank is a middle-aged internist, the director of one of the medical clinics at the Midwestern Inner City Hospital. And for some time now, he has secretly thought about leaving the medicine for something else, something more satisfying. And someone suggested that he tried a physician's training program that this lady taught before he made any big choices. And for the past 9 months, he has been reclaiming for himself that which is satisfying in his work. He tells this story about returning to his clinic after a weekend workshop on the power of intuition. That's what we were talking about, seeing a person and then feeling that need. His clinic is at a large teaching hospital. As faculty, part of his job is to see patients who have no teaching value, those who present a medical challenge or a diagnostic problem are saved for the young doctors who are still training. On this particular Monday afternoon, one of his patients, Mrs. Gonzalez, was his regular 2 o'clock appointment. She was an elderly lady, maybe 80, in the last stages of breast cancer. Sorry, I shouldn't have smiled at that. In the last stages of breast cancer. No further cancer treatment was available for her, so at each visit he would visit to her and listen. So at each visit he would listen to how her week went, adjust her pain medication and treat any other complaint she had as best he could. On this particular Monday, as always, he made the adjustments in her palliative regime, and then, thinking of the weekend, he decided to take a few moments to reflect and see what his intuition had to say about her. And much to his surprise, his intuition suggested that it would be most helpful to Mrs. Gonzalez now would be for them to pray together. He was not a praying man, and he began to sweat. Professionally, this was felt risky to him, He reviewed the danger checklist from the workshop in his mind. Was there some reason not to do this? Would it delay or negate some needed treatment? Would it embarrass or humiliate anyone? Going down the list, he couldn't find a reason to discard this insight, so there it was. So Frank turned to this ill, grandmotherly patient and said, "Mrs. Gonzalez, perhaps it might be good if we prayed together." She looked at him and began to cry. Fortunately, he didn't do what I had been trained to do years ago when a patient cried. He didn't call a nurse. He did what he had learned to do in another of his training workshops. Taking her hand, he simply received her emotions respectfully and waited. Still holding his hand, she said, "That would be wonderful, Doctor." Then she told him that she was a Catholic and asked if they could kneel down. Shaken, he looked towards the door. He was on highly unfamiliar ground, but he was in it already and he decided to continue. "Certainly," he replied. So with his white coat on, he helped her to kneel down and he knelt down with her in the tiny examination room. She began to pray, first in Spanish and then in English. He hadn't prayed for many years, but calm settled over him, and his memory, awakened by the sound of her voice, gave him back a prayer from his childhood. When she had finished, he said aloud, he said it aloud. There was a long, comfortable silence. Then very gently, the old woman reached across and touched his cheek. First in Spanish and then in English, she asked God to bless him and strengthen him in doing his important work. He says he can still feel the touch of her hand even 6 months later. He remembers it when things get tough and it helps him. He often prays with his patients now, both for them and himself. One of the reasons that many physicians feel drained by their work is that they do not know to make an opening to receive anything from their patients. The way we were trained, receiving is considered unprofessional. The way most of us were raised, receiving is considered a weakness. And as St. Francis said in his prayer, it is in giving that we receive. So follow your intuition. Thank you for listening. I thought that was a lovely going out of his comfort zone and doing something different, but he received as well. As many of us who are healers, we feel the same when we've been healing. We all feel calmer and have a lot of energy within us. And on that note, we're going to sing another song. I think one of our favourites, because it is a wonderful world, and it's on number 35. Thank you, Celia. If you'd like to stand up.
What a wonderful
We'll just take a short break there and we'll be back shortly.